What is up, my loves, and welcome back to the channel. I don't even know if I could really say that anymore, considering it's been a really long time since I've actually uploaded a video. I put a poll on my Instagram asking if people would want to hear the story of why I needed to have open heart surgery at 25 years old. So there's a lot to unpack, but let's do it. I have a rare connective tissue disorder, and not a lot of people, including doctors, know about it. That's what this is about. Awareness and just sharing my story, and if it inspires somebody or somebody learns something, then I did my part. I'll start from the beginning, and I'll try to make it make sense as much as possible, and also keep it quick and not boring. From 8 years old to 18, my mom actually went through 4 open heart surgeries. Um, I won't get into details about those, but my mom had 4 different types of surgeries. I was 8, and my mom had her first surgery. They found that we both have the same connective tissue disorder. It's genetic, specifically ataxia aorta. The connective tissue disorder we have is called Loeys-Dietz. Um, it makes you susceptible to aneurysms. Basically, one normal morning in July, I was laying in my bed scrolling through TikTok, and all of a sudden I got this shooting pain through my rib, and it just shot through my ribs and transferred up through the to my back, like the middle of my back. And I typically have a really high pain tolerance, and this was excruciating. I was curled over into a ball on my bed, couldn't move. I couldn't even make a sound. It hurt so bad. And I couldn't yell for my mom, so I called her on the phone, and I just, with whatever strength I had at the time, just told her I need you to come into my room. Once she came into my room, I explained to her what I was feeling, where I was feeling it, and she told me right away this is not good. We need to call, or we need to go to the emergency room. And I had got up to try to get ready to go to the emergency room, and I just felt like I was gonna pass out. I got white as a ghost. I was drenched in sweat. I was weak. Um, it really felt like if I closed my eyes, I wasn't sure that I was gonna wake up, and that was scary for sure. So my mom ended up calling the ambulance. The ambulance came, and we went to the ER. They got me in for a CT scan, and the doctor came in and told me that I have a tear in my aorta. And the pain that I was feeling was actually my aorta dissecting. So it's called an aortic dissection. When you have a tear in your aorta, it's called an aortic dissection. In the age of COVID, um, protocol to get COVID tested as soon as you get admitted into the hospital. I was positive for COVID, and so they kicked my family out of my hospital room. That was tough. They said I couldn't have visitors anymore, and I had to be in isolation. So I was like, great. The whole time that I'm here, I'm not going to be able to see my family. And I'm just going to have to do this alone. And that sucked. This is the kicker. I'm positive for COVID, and I have no symptoms. I'm asymptomatic. No symptoms at all. And I asked to be retested 3 times because I'm like, there's no way that I have COVID, when everybody that I was around prior to getting into the hospital did not have COVID, and I had no symptoms, and I, you know, didn't want to be going through what I was going through alone. So, I'm in the ICU at my local hospital for about 3 days. Finally, Cedars-Sinai is where we decided I was going to get transferred to. So I didn't end up getting transferred till 1 in the morning on the 3rd night that I was there. So I took another ambulance to Cedars-Sinai. Still positive for COVID, by the way. And anyway, so now I'm in the ICU at Cedars-Sinai, and I'm there for 2 days. And I see a cardiothoracic surgeon, and he gives me his opinion and his diagnosis. I have an aortic dissection. He, at the time, did not think that it was at a place where they needed to operate and thought that we could, medically manage it until it gets to the point where we're going to have to operate. So they observed me for 2 days, finally got out of the hospital, was there for a total, with the local hospital and Cedars-Sinai, I was there for 5 days. And then 3 weeks passes by, and it's like 1 in the morning, and I feel the same pain again. Except this time it was a lot more mild, it was a lot more calm, but I feel the same pain, and I was like, something's not right. Gotta go to the hospital. I got driven to the hospital. Like I said, it's like 1 in the morning. They do another CT scan, and the ER doctor says, from what we could see, it seems like your dissection has grown. They get a hold of somebody from Cedars, and they hadn't seen the scans, but they heard that I have dissected again in less than a month, that, they think that the dissection has grown. So they told me that they think that it's probably going to be time to operate once I get to Cedars. In that moment, my life just changed completely. I actually had to get airlifted from my local hospital to Cedars, and I have crazy anxiety, and I hate heights, and I hate flying. I already don't like flying in airplanes. I'm in a helicopter, a small one, and I'm in the tail, and I'm laying down. And I'm also trying not to freak out at the fact that that I know that I'm gonna have to have heart surgery. Get admitted into Cedars. It's now like 9 in the morning because I was in the ER from like 1 in the morning till like 8 a.m. until they could fly me out. Surgeon comes to talk to me and confirms that it's time. I had to wait 5 days to have surgery because one of the surgeons, there's two surgeons that operated on me, and one of the surgeons was actually out of town and he didn't get back till a Thursday, and I had got admitted on a Saturday. So while I'm waiting, one of the surgeons comes to see me, and turns out that on my scan, he saw that the root of my aorta. So your aorta is like a candy cane. It goes from, like, let's say this is the top of your heart, comes out of the top of your heart, goes all the way down through your abdomen, and then it splits off into your legs, and it, is responsible for transferring blood throughout your entire body. So it's pretty important. So he tells me that the root of my aorta is actually enlarged, and it's at a place where it needs